G'day champions, it's Stuart Stone here from Health and Fitness Over 40, and it's time for another one of our videos in the Better Than Viagra series. Now, this one is a bit of a crazy one because we're going to go through some of the research and actually have a look at the reports of what some guys are willing to do to get their man's best friend pointing towards the sun again. And I tell you what, it is not pretty. But let's have a look at some of the reports and some of the research and some of the things that people have found guys doing, like injecting cocaine into their cock to just go about getting a hard-on.
Okay, so here it is, the stupid shit guys do to get a boner. So before we start, a quick definition. Priapism. It's a condition in which a person's penis remains erect for hours in the absence of stimulation or after stimulation has ended. That's going to be important as we go through this debacle. So first of all, we get the formal medical stuff, the priapist shot. Remember, priapism is a hard-on for hours. Well, what they do is they take some of your blood, they spin it around in a centrifuge to extract the platelet-rich plasma. And then they inject it back into your cock. Now, the aim of this is after 48 to 72 hours, you should be able to have a natural erection. That's should. How effective is it? That's debatable depending on who and what you read. But there you go, you got a boner, and the boner cost $2,500. But here's the caveat for the day. If you don't have erectile dysfunction, don't go dicking around with these supposed remedies. So here's a guy who tried to inject a high dose of Trimix into his cock to have longer lasting erections, so he could have a good weekend of marathon sex with his lady. Here's the problem. He injected himself and 4 hours later he rushed to the emergency room. He could not walk and he required a wheelchair. So the doctors then got a butterfly needle and proceeded to extract a stupendous amount of blood out of his cock, taking turns squeezing his dick like a lemon. So if you want a bunch of doctors squeezing your cock, inject crap into it. Winning? No. Next, in 2005, the rumors started that olive oil injected into your cock was a great way to increase your dick size. So within a year, the country's Department of Medical Services had to issue a nationwide plea to stop men shooting olive oil into their penises. You got to be kidding. You can't read about it. Truth is stranger than fiction. Here it is. Anyway, tens of thousands of men have injected themselves, and that doctors were seeing 30 or 40 patients turn up at the hospital every month. I'm just wondering if when you shoot your juice, that makes olive oil and it's good on your salad. I don't know. But anyway, boner cost, hospital in this instance. So then we move on. Human growth hormone. Like the name says, you would expect it to make whatever you inject it into bigger. Unfortunately, physiology doesn't work that way. So I guess we call this one the bogus boner. And what's the boner cost? Infection and injury. So don't do it. But here's the piece de resistance in stupidity. In June 1988, now this guy didn't actually stick a needle into his penis. He took a cocaine solution and injected it down his japsai to improve sexual performance. So, priapism that we talked about at the start of this video, where you have a prolonged erection, well, after 3 days, he was admitted to a hospital suffering priapism. He had a 3-day hard on, this guy. Here's the problem with a 3-day hard-on. You're not getting blood circulation. So when you're not getting circulation of blood, you're not getting oxygen to the tissue, you're not removing toxic waste products away from the tissue, and the tissue starts to die. So anyway, on the 3rd day of his erection, it suddenly subsided, but the blood leaked into his body, and he developed blood clots in his hands, feet, back, and chest. Holy crap. And nearly 10 days later, gangrene had spread to the extent that both of his legs and 9 of his fingers needed to be amputated. So boner cost, gangrene. And if you don't know what gangrene looks like, there it is. Pretty nasty stuff. That's tissue death from lack of blood supply. And the final kicker, after 10 days, his penis fell off on its own. Long story short, guys, There are natural ways to do things. Check out the videos. In fact, go into the description box below this video, click on the link and get your free copy of our PDF, which is Better Than Viagra. It's the natural ways, the healthy ways to get yourself a nice hard boner when you want it, when you need it, instead of relying on drastic, scary, unhealthy, life-threatening choices like some of these idiots have made. So there it is.
Okay guys, so if that didn't make you throw up, made your toes curl, made you feel very weird in the groin region, I don't know what will. But to get your top tips on how to improve the blood flow to your favorite friend and your partner's best friend when it's firing on all cylinders, make sure you go down into the box below, pop in your details, and we're going to send you the Better Than Viagra summary. That's all the research, all the foods and supplements you need to improve your blood supply to man's best friend and also reduce your risk of erectile dysfunction, as well as exercises you need to do and other health parameters you need to look at. So go down in the description box, click on the link and sign up for that, and while you're at it, come over here, click on the red heart apple, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for more tips like this. Go down into the description box, click on the link and give our Facebook page a like, and we'll talk to you again soon.